Welcome everyone to day 2 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. We are back to do it all again, qualifying 2 coming up for you this morning. And once again, we are on a dry circuit. Whether that will be the same case for the race, it's highly unlikely. Once again, rain predicted for this afternoon, but for the time being, we have a dry, albeit damp in places, circuit. My name's Chris McCarthy. It's a pleasure to call you through the action as always. I hope you enjoyed the first race of the season yesterday. It was an eventful one to say the least. Once we got going though towards the end, we certainly had some exciting racing towards the front. The result of the race was as so Dino Beganovic settled his unfinished business here from the end of last season, going on to take the win ahead of Michael Belov, who got his championship hopes off to a solid start with second. Lorenzo Fluxa got in the points for the first time ever in Formula Regional and on to the podium with a third place. Adrian David scored good points as he goes after trying to go one better in the championship, finishing fourth. Gaz Havercourt was in 5th place, Gabriel Portaletto 6th, Mari Boyer 7th. 7 drivers there who can certainly go and challenge for the title this season. Sebastian Montoya was the best of the rookies, finishing in 8th place, and just behind him was Sami Megatunev and Leonardo Fornaroli. 3 rookies there, rounding out the top 10, with Trident getting in the points on their very first race in the championship. We did have some penalties go out. Maceo Capietto picked up a 2-place penalty. We also had a penalty for Victor Bernier and Joshua Dirksen. Most of those being on the last lap restart, those drivers cutting across the first chicane, and they were handed 2-second penalties for doing so, and that dropped them down the field and promoted Leonardo Fornaroli and Tim Tramnitz up to 10th and 11th place. We also have penalties going out today. Lawrence Van Hopen will receive a 2-place grid drop for the incident he had with Dudu Barrichello at the first corner, and Pietro Deligoanti will receive a 3-place grid drop for the incident he had with Delano Van Gogh going through the Roggia chicane. Well, you can see to the top left, this says QP2B. If you didn't see any of the Formula Regional action yesterday, first of all, welcome back to the championship. 37 cars out there for you today. Yes, it's even more than what we had last year. We have some changes to the championship, one of those being the push to pass, which we didn't really get to see in full action yesterday. How does it work? Well, the drivers get to use the push to pass button 5 times, which gives extra power towards the engine, and it lasts for 15 seconds, up to 15 seconds until they hit the brakes. The idea is that in dry conditions, it will give them 4 car lengths extra speed down the straight. We didn't really get to see it yesterday with all these safety cars, but hopefully we get to see it today. The drivers telling me some of them did try it out and did feel good effect to it, so hopefully we'll see more of that this afternoon. We also have changes to the tyres as well, to the dry tyres. More degradation. They're a softer compound this year, so the tyres are going to go off a bit quicker. It means you have less laps in qualifying to set your times, and it also means that during the race you have to manage your tyres. Also, we have a split qualifying system. This is the main thing we need to focus on now. So the drivers have been split into 2 groups. That was split through the results of the collective test 2 on Friday. The drivers who finished 1st, 3rd, 5th and so on in that test were put into Group A, and the drivers who finished 2nd, 4th, 6th and so on were put into Group B. These are the drivers we're seeing on track now. Those groups last for the whole weekend. Both groups go out, they'll do 15 minutes of qualifying. The quicker group will then form the inside row of the grid for the race, and the slower group will form the outside row of the grid. So essentially what we're doing in this qualifying session is the drivers are fighting for what row they're going to start on. Wherever they're finished in this group, that's what row of the grid they're going to start on. Whether it'll be the inside or the outside, we'll find out when Group A go out, just after Group B. So Group A went out first yesterday, and today Group B will go out first. Going forwards, it'll be determined by championship position. So drivers first, third, fifth in the championship will be in Group A, second, fourth, sixth, and so on will be in Group B. Now, it looks a little bit damp in places out there, doesn't it? The track still warming up. We did have a BMW Championship out for a 15-minute qualifying this morning. That's all we've had on track, so this is going to be a qualifying session where we're going to see the times coming down all the time. You want to be in Group A, really. The track is certainly going to be quicker for those guys. Yesterday, the pole time that was set was a 1:46.7 from Delano Van Gogh, who himself admitted he got a very, very good tow. He told me on Friday the tow is worth 0.6 to up to a second if you really nail it, but nevertheless it was still a fantastic lap. To get into the top 10 you had to do a 1:47.6. Not sure we're going to be seeing those kind of times, specifically not in this group, as we have fans coming in today, ACI Racing weekend, so plenty of on-track action. This, though, the headline event for this weekend, the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. So in this group then, let's run through who we've got out there. We've got Mani Boya out there, Gabriel Mini. Now, Gabriel Mini had an absolute disaster really yesterday. There he is in the 46. He was running in second place on the first safety car, and then coming through the final corner, coming through Parabolica, Delano Van Gogh was just weaving just to try and throw the guys off behind, something he did on every restart. Gabriel Mini thought that he'd got his foot down to get the restart going and clattered straight into the back of him. It was investigated by the stewards, but Gabriel Mini himself was just more frustrated at himself, didn't throw the blame on Delano Van Gogh. He just thought that the restart had been going. He realised there was no malice involved there, and unfortunately Gabriel Mini had to come straight into the pits. So he's going to be out to get amends today. He did put on a fantastic recovery, though, to come back through the field to 15th. Kaz Havercourt's also going to be in this session. He's there in the 27 in the black and orange colours, and we have Sami Megatunev, Delano Van Gogh, Josh Dufek, who gained around 20 places yesterday, Laurens van Hopen on his very first weekend in single-seaters, Matthias Sagazeta, Tim Tramnitz, Lorenzo Fluxa, Kim Donegan, Maceo Capietto, Victor Bernier, Pietro Armani, Han Chen-Yu, Nicolas Baptiste, Santiago Ramos and Axel Noss. So far it is Maceo Capietto who has gone quickest with a time of a 1:59.23. But as I said, the times are going to get quicker and quicker all the time. You can see, look at the splits down towards the bottom. Gabriel Mini already 1.3 seconds quicker through the first split. Kaz Havercourt 1.4 seconds quicker through the first split. There he is, fighting inside the top 5 yesterday was Kaz. To the left of screen, you'll see some red dashes next to some of the names. That highlights who the rookies are in the championship. We do have a rookie standings. The points of that are made up by overall points, and our rookie champion last year was Isaac Hadjar, so they are trying to follow in the footsteps of the Red Bull Junior and a man who's already taken a win in the FIA F3 Championship. So far, the rookie winner this year was Sebastian Montoya. The rookie winner joins the top 3 on the podium as well. Well, you can see the times really starting to come down. Laurens van Hopen doing a really good job. He's actually the quickest out there overall as we make our way around Parabolica now and up towards the start-finish straight. Gabriel Mini not bothered about a tow here, just wants to get in a clean lap. That's the tactic Kaz Havercourt applied yesterday. 1:52.2, 1:52.1 for Laurens van Hopen, a 1:51.9 for Tim Tramnitz there. So the rookies going along very well at the front. Fluxa goes 5th, Boya goes 6th. Then we have Megatunev in 6th place. Capietto jumps into the top 10. Here we see the number 70 Trident car, the red, blue and white car. That is Tim Tramnitz. He is quickest so far with a 1:51.9. So we are about 5 seconds slower than the quickest time we saw yesterday. So it's Tramnitz, Van Hopen, Havercourt, Mini, Fluxa, Megatunev, Boya, Capietto, Van Hoff and Dufek. Here's Tim Tramnitz coming into the second chicane. Boyer's going to go straight on. Kaz Havercourt's gone quickest of anyone through the first sector. Here is Tramnitz, the Italian and ADAC F4 vice champion last year, so looking to try and fight for wins and podiums this year, no doubt. But Laurens Van Hopen going along very well. He's got a good toe here from Dufek in that white and black ART as he charges his way down towards Ascari. Van Hopen looking in good shape here behind Dufek. If he can get a good toe down to Parabolica and get past Dufek, this could be a very, very good lap. And he is currently one of the quickest on track, but Kaz Havercourt has gone quickest of anyone through the second sector. Havercourt second in queue here. Gabriele Mini going well, and Havercourt gets a good toe there from Gabriele Mini now as he goes up towards the final corner. The track's still drying all the time. You can still see dark in places. It's still damp out there in places as they make their way now up to the start finish straight. Havercourt, has he done enough here to go quickest as he comes up to the line? Yes, 150.5 for Kaz Havercourt. What about behind? Van Hopen goes to fourth, Dufek goes second, Tramnitz goes third. Mini is fifth, then it's Fluxer in sixth. Boyer is next. Coming up to second there is Lorenzo Fluxer. Megatunic goes up to fourth, but only briefly, drops to fifth. Now behind Caprietto, someone running straight on there. I think that was Laurens Van Hopen, who ran straight over the chicane. Nicolas Baptiste is into the top 10. Good driving that from the number 35 there, who finished an impressive 16th on his debut yesterday. Into the Roggia chicane, rather, and Kaz Havercourt finding more time here. Josh Dufek, though, going quickest of anyone. In fact, quickest on track is Gabriele Mini now. So Mini second in this queue, over half a second up through the first sector. Second quickest on track is Tim Tramnitz, going along really, really well in that number 70 Trident car. But this man here in track, on screen, is currently the quickest on track, but sadly, we have a red flag. So, red flag, we have someone off the circuit. Ah, no, that's Delano Van Gogh, and unfortunately, he's going to go no further in this session. Now, I'm not too sure, by the way, what happened to Pietro Armani, but we haven't seen him out on circuit yet. If they've been trying to fix a problem, this will give them a bit more time. Right, let's see what happened to... Oh, no, well, he's just lost it on the brakes. Straight into the wall. And Delano Van Gogh there must have just hit a damp patch on the circuit. Either that or there was a problem with the car there, because the way the car went out of shape, I really wouldn't be surprised if that was a mechanical problem. It's very unusual for a car to go straight off like that in that manner. So a potential mechanical problem, if not just hit a damp patch for Delano Van Gogh. Either or, he is going to be no better than 15th in this session, which means he will be no better than the 15th row of the grid. He'll qualify no higher than 29th. Remember, this is the first of two groups, and this determines what row of the grid they are going to start on. So far, Havercourt quickest, Fluxer is second, Dufek is third, Capietto fourth, Megatunic fifth, Tramnitz sixth. A shame for him because he was absolutely flying on that lap. Van Hopen seventh, sorry. Tramnitz sixth, as we said. Mini was the other driver who was going very, very quickly. He was quickest of anyone, so a real shame for him. He's currently eighth, which would put him down in 15th, 16th place for the race. So he really has to get a move on when the green flags go once more. Nicolas Baptiste 9th, Boyer 10th, Zagazzetta 11th, then Bernier, Hahn, Ramos, Van Toff 15th, but could drop behind the likes of Donegan, Nos. Armani still yet to go out onto the circuit. Hopefully we see him out in this session. There's Levente Rivets. We'll see him out in the next group, which not too far away from going out onto the circuit. You can see what's been brought onto the circuit due to that incident. Marshall's getting to work down at the Roggia chicane. Here is the number 35, Nicolas Baptiste. I have to say, impressive so far, finishing just outside the top 15 yesterday. Finished 24th in the Italian F4 Championship last year. Got a best result of 5th. Now there's the Monolite team. Now that's, I think, to the right of screen, yeah, the number 6 to the right of screen, that's Pietro Armani's car. And he's ready to go in terms of himself. Car not quite there yet, but not far off. Here is Santiago Ramos, one of the Mexican drivers. He and Noel Leon telling me yesterday that the last time they raced each other was 3 years ago in the Mexican Karting Championship. They used to have some really good battles with each other in that. So very excited to be racing each other once again in Freca. And he raced in Italian F4 last year. Let's look at this incident once more. So we had a lock-up just ahead. And there you can see Van Gogh. Well, as I said, it could be a mistake because a lot of people were locking up going into there. But at the same time, it could be something going wrong with the car as well. Could be a mechanical issue. But either way, that's a shame for Van Gogh. He's not going to have any chance to qualify any higher than at least 29th place. 3 minutes and 26, so they're going to have to get a move on as soon as the green flags go out. They might get around 2 flying laps at most. Van Gogh's lap will be cancelled as well due to the fact that he has caused a red flag, and that really hurt Josh Dufek yesterday, put him right towards the back. Van Gogh doesn't have much further back to go, but it will certainly put him a little bit further back down the field. And hopefully very soon we'll see them back out on track. Here's Piotr Wisnicki. As I said yesterday, he's a driver playing catch-up, really. Said to me on Friday that he had suffered quite a few issues in pre-season testing, had some mechanical problems with the car at one of the tests, and picked up an injury at another one of the tests. So 2 of the tests, he really didn't get much running in at all. So he hasn't done a lot of time. He did 1 test really in full, and then came straight here. So he's going to have to just take his time getting to continue to learn the car, Piotr Wisnicki. He's coming up from racing in F4. But very excited to be in the championship. Raced Italian F4 last year. Took 23rd, raced it with the Genza team, finishing in the points a few times as well. Havercourt quickest though, 150.5. It's likely that this is going to be the group that forms the outside row of the grid, unless it rains, which, looking out the window, it doesn't look like rain is imminent. Here is the number 5 car of Matteo Cappietto. Would have been slightly disappointed not to have finished in the points and picked up that penalty. I spoke to him after the race. He was very happy, said that the goal was to go and get some points this weekend, and that's exactly what they did. Like many of the rookies, Cappietto is just trying to be the best rookie. They're all trying to fight for the rookie title. I know I've mentioned it already, but you can see what it did to Isaac Hadjar throughout last year, doing so well as a rookie. And Matteo finished 3rd in the French F4 Championship last year, fighting really hard with the likes of Esteban Masson, actually. Here's the Monolite team going to work on that car. They won't mind this red flag staying out a few minutes longer, but as I say that, it looks like the marshals are now starting to make their way back to their posts. So I'd say in the next 30 seconds, we should see the green flags start to go up. Now we have had a warning to the drivers to say that the track is slippery going down towards the Rogier chicane, so that's something they will have to keep an eye on. 1 minute and 15 seconds exactly until the green flag goes. Particularly, Gabriele Mini is going to be in a real hurry here, more than anyone else, I'd say, out there. And as well, his teammate, Mari Boyer, the 2 ART drivers, currently down in 8th and 10th. Boyer didn't have the best of qualifyings yesterday, said he got delayed, but still finished in the top 10. He did say as well to me, you know, if I can have a bad qualifying and be in the top 10, then that's pretty good going. He's in the top 10 in this group, but to get in the top 10 overall, he needs to be in the top 5 in this group. To do that, he needs to find around 8/10 of a second. So far, Kaz Havercourt is 8/10 quicker than anyone else out there. Got that toe behind Gabriel Mini, didn't he? But overall, setting a really, really good time there, Kaz Havercourt. His best qualifying result so far is 6th place in Formula Regional. He matched that yesterday. He got that a couple of times last year. Here, Kaz, qualifying 6th at the likes of Mugello and also Spa both times. And qualified 6th yesterday, so currently on to get his best qualifying results. Lorenzo Fluxa on to qualify on the 2nd row after qualifying on the front row yesterday, and Josh Dufek, the rookie, on to qualify on row 3. We saw rookies qualifying in the top 10 yesterday. Leonardo Fornaroli and Matteo Capietto were 9th and 10th. So that would be the best result of a rookie for the weekend in qualifying. Of course, we still have another group to go, and we still have 2 minutes and 45 seconds of this session to go. And as expected, all the cars piling out there as they make their way round. They've got to be careful going down to turn 4. There you can see the slippery surface flags are up, so they've just got to navigate their way round there safely. Just try and find out where that slippery surface is exactly. Once the cars have all been through it a couple of times, we should have no problems going through there. There is Victor Bernier, very happy with his performance yesterday. He hadn't been too pleased at all with how things had been going. Seems he's got very high expectations of himself this season, and why shouldn't he? 4th in ADA CF4 last year, and was very frustrated more than anything how things had been going. But yesterday, moved up the grid really, really nicely. Finished 12th on track. Did pick up a penalty and was classified 14th for going through the chicane. But Victor Bernier in the blue FA racing car. Great job from him yesterday to kick off his season. There's Kaz in the 27 in the black and orange colours as they make their way. Here are the ART guys. Oh no, someone's off. And that's the number 6 of Pietro Armani, so he's out of the pits. This is his first lap. Well, that's good news that Pietro is out on circuit. Bit of a lockup going down to Parabolica, but he's just about saved it. And this is going to be their final flying laps now as they come up to the start finish line. It takes them 1 minute and 50 seconds at this speed to go round. So one more lap to try and get your times in for Gabriel Mini and also for Mari Boya. The pressure is truly on them as we make our way down towards the first corner. Are we going to see any changes? I keep my eye on the first splits for you, let you know if we see anyone going quicker, but big pressure here on Gabriel Mini and Mari Boya. Luck has not been on Gabriel Mini's side so far this weekend. Is he able to turn that round? Well, Santiago Ramos has just gone quickest of anyone through the first sector. Victor Bernier has gone quickest of anyone through the first sector. They're currently down in 12th and 14th place. Brilliant times from those two rookies, so clearly they've got a good toe down the start-finish straight. Lawrence Van Hopen has gone quickest. Gabriel Mini has gone quickest. Mari Boya has gone quickest. There you can see Kaz Havercourt going quickest as well. Currently quickest through the first sector of anyone is Mari Boya. He's down in 10th place as Kaz Havercourt makes his way out of the second Lesmo. Down towards the Ascari chicane we go. Kaz Havercourt, his front row star, under pressure here from the likes of Boya and Mini, the ART duo, the ART trio, shall I say. Tim Tramnitz has also gone purple through the first sector. Round the Ascari we go. Kaz Havercourt still quickest. Van Hopen has dropped time. Gabriel Mini half a second up through the second sector. Mari Boya just under half a second up through the second sector. So the two ART teammates are absolutely flying. First across the line of the three of them, though, will be Kaz Havercourt as he makes his way out of the final corner. And there we go, Santiago Ramos third. Victor Bernier goes up to second. Dufek up into second place. Havercourt, can he improve? Yes, 150.048. But what about behind? We've got Mini and Boyer. Here they come up to the line. Van Hopen goes up to third. Mini goes first. Boyer goes second. The ART trio 1, 2 and 5 as Tim Tramnitz goes to fourth place and Fluxa goes up to sixth. Keith Donegan going up to 10th place. Capietto goes to fifth. What an end to the session. Gabriele Mini gets himself on the front row of the grid right at the death of the session. Brilliant, brilliant lap there under a huge amount of pressure, but Gabriele Mini absolutely nailed it. 149.772, and Gabriele Mini goes quickest and will start at least second in the second race of the season later. Murray Boyer gets himself a second row start, and Kaz Havicourt finishes third. He'll start like he did yesterday on the third row of the grid. Tim Tramnitz, his best result in qualifying, he will start on row 4. Capietto, like he did yesterday, will start on row 5. Laurens Van Hopen yesterday was on row 10. Today he will start on row 6. Lorenzo Fluxa will be disappointed to finish down in 7th. He'll be on the 7th row. Josh Dufek will be on row number 8. Well, there we go. Brilliant, brilliant time that from Gabriele Mini, and a good time from Boyer as well. All three ART drivers just grouped themselves together towards the back of the pack, and Laurens Van Hopen doing a really good job to improve there. But what about this man? Gabriele Mini will start on the front row of the grid, and it's over to the Group A drivers now to try and beat that time that he's just gone and set. Only driver to go sub 150 seconds, and here is the results on screen for you. 149.7 for Gabriele Mini, then it's Boyer, Havicourt, Tramnitz, Capietto, Van Hopen, Fluxa, Dufek, Bernier and Ramos. Well done to those two getting inside the top 10 in that session. Donegan 11th in the group. I think he'll be happy with that, given he's running 10 kilos over. Megatunif disappointed, I think with 12th he'll be. Han Chen Yu 13th in group. Zagazeta 14th, Baptiste, then Nos Vanthoff towards the back of the field. Pietro Armani only got to do that one lap right at the end, and he did make a mistake coming up towards Parabolica, which would have delayed him going on to the start-finish straight, and he might have actually got a penalty for track limits as well. Well, there we go. That is the first group. We're about to do it all over again. Group A will be out in 1 minute and 45 seconds. The session will start at 9:55. Gabriele Mini, the time to beat, 149.772. I think he'll be relieved with that after what happened yesterday. It looked like it could have gone very badly there at one point. But a good response today for ART. They finished 7th yesterday, only one car in the points for them yesterday. And they're a team that will be wanting to challenge for the team's title this year. So far, leading the team's championship. Only one race, but Prema ahead of RSGP by 2 points. Drivers getting in to weigh themselves as Boyer, Van Hopen and Mini all together there. Boyer just congratulating Gabriele Mini as he takes his crash helmet off. As I said, I think he'll be relieved. He's a driver that does put a lot of pressure on himself, has very high expectations of himself, and I know he was very disappointed with himself. I know, I hate to say it again, more than anything, with what happened yesterday. Just felt it was a mistake he shouldn't have made. Could have cost him a win or a podium. But he can bounce back very strong today. There's Kaz Havicourt. Row 3. He'll take that, definitely. Could have been possibly a little bit better, but consistency is key in this championship. You've got to keep getting yourself up there and scoring points like he was yesterday. Row 3 will be Kaz Havicourt. Another solid performance from him, proving why he is a championship contender this season. Second in group, Murray Boyer, good way to bounce back after a bad start to the session. 7th for him yesterday, could go a few better today. And Gabriel Portaletto, after a disastrous race yesterday, after what could have been a disastrous qualifying, he'll start on the front row. It's now over to Group A, the time to beat 1:49.772. If that time is beaten, Group A will form the inside row of the grid and Group B will form the outside row. If they don't beat it, then Gabriel Portaletto will be on pole and Group B will form the inside row. There's Sebastian Montoya in the 58 in the red and white Prema. Good drive from him yesterday to take the first rookie win of the season. It was a double win for Prema, overall win and also the rookie win as well. So in Group A, we will have Michael Belov, who was on the podium yesterday, Paul Aron, who's in desperate need of some points. We didn't really get to see what Paul Aron could do yesterday. When he left the pits, he had damage to his front wing. Something came loose on the front wing, fell off, and that meant that he was never going to be able to set a competitive time. So Paul Aron, let's see what he can do today. One to watch in the number 3. Adrian David in the all-blue colours. Can't miss him. He's in the 26. Joshua Dirksen out there in the 10. He's looked very quick in pre-season testing in general at the Ardent boys. Didn't quite work out for them yesterday. Let's see what they can do today. Dino Begnovic, winner yesterday, will be in the number 18 Prema car. Then Dudu Barrichello in the 91. Noel Leon will be in the Red Bull car, the Red Bull Junior F4 USA champion in the 19. We'll have Gabriel Portaletto out there. Also Leonardo Fornaroli, Hamder Al-Kibasi, Esteban Masson, the French F4 champion, Roman Belinsky, Sebastian Montoya, Pietro Deligoanti, who will take a 3-place grid drop. We must remember Laurens Van Hopen will take a 2-place grid drop. So although he was in the top 5 in that last session, he was 6th, wasn't he, in his group, he will drop 2 places. Pietro Deligoanti will drop 3 places. Owen Tangavello is next, and we'll have Piotr Wisnicki, Lena Bula, Francesco Braschi, and Levente Rivets. Well, it will take them a few laps like we saw in Group B to get the tyres up to temperature. You see Levente Rivets there almost getting a bit sideways down the start-finish straight. Some of the drivers yesterday, I was speaking to Dudu Barrichello, and yeah, he said the restart yesterday, particularly the last one when the rain was really coming down, starting at the back, it was scary. You couldn't see absolutely anything coming down the start-finish straight. So you do not want to be in the middle of the pack or towards the back with a wet race scheduled for later as well. So qualifying really is crucial when the forecast is wet. And there is the man himself, Dudu Barrichello. Has really good pace this year. Didn't quite work out for him yesterday. Of course, Van Hopen ran into him in the first corner and will receive a 2-place grid drop for doing so. But Dudu Barrichello wasn't too frustrated about it, really. He said it was, you know, that was the consequences of a bad qualifying. A good outlook on the situation, really. Was quick to put it behind him, and we go again today. Let's see what he can do as they make their way down to Ascari. Now, it was Group B yesterday. We saw all the drivers really finding themselves bunched up. In that last group, they seem to all find a little bit of space. Let's see what happens in this one. You can see the idea of having 2 groups is so that it's less busy out on the circuit, but as you can see, it still looks very busy out there. We could have 10 cars out there and they still all find themselves together. It's trying to find a toe around Monza is absolutely key. As I've said, it can get you up to 0.6 of a second to 1 second. Sami Megatunic has had his last lap time deleted from the last session. He was a little bit down the order, so that might drop him a little bit further down. That was for missing one of the chicanes. We'll go through the result of that when we go through the grid for the race a little bit later. And the race will be at 2:05 local time here at Monza. There's the number 9 making his his way round. That's Esteban Masson, French F4 champion. We do have a few champions on the grid. We have the F4 USA champion, Noel Leon, just ahead of him in the Red Bull colours. Spanish F4 champion, Delano Van Gogh, who sadly had a bit of a crash going down towards the Roger chicane in the last group. There's the 85, Gabriel Portaletto, strong end to the season for him last year. He's moved across from FA Racing over to the reigning teams champions RSGP. There's Owen Tangavellu, racing for G4. Had a solid season in French F4 last year, finished in the top 5, took a couple of podiums as well, was on the podium here, so does know this circuit pretty well. There's Sebastian Montoya making his way around Iscari, just trying to find a little bit of space. I think we're building up for the first push laps very shortly. Could be these next laps now, we really see them start to get their foots down. But as we saw in the last group, the track is getting quicker all the time. That will be the case in this group as well. You can still see rubber is still going down. There are still dampish, if that is even a word, patches on the track. So it's still going to be cold. That circuit still going to have rubber going down as they make their way down the start-finish straight, and the weaving has stopped. So we are on to our first real push laps now in this session, and you can see they're not quite breaking on the racing line just yet. It's still a little bit wet on the racing line in the braking zone, so they're braking in the middle of the circuit. Things you learn in karting, these tactics to just find the drier parts of the circuit, move around in the braking zone. It's a thing you do when you race in karting, and those things you learn you can apply even at this level. Down towards the Rogier chicane then, and going through the first sector. Let's get some times in. Here's the number 9 of Esteban Masson, French driver, and it's another French driver who's one of the quickest, Adrian David. 7.5 tenths up. The quickest driver on track so far through the first sector is Michael Belov. Gabriel Portaletto is second up. Sebastian Montoya going along well. Pietro Deligoanti going along well, as is Fornaroli. Beganovic as well. Dudu Barrichello is leading the way out front in terms of the times, but for how long will he be doing so? Michael Belov in your picture there is quickest of anyone, and he's going to pick up a good tow from one of the Arden cars going down the back straight behind Joshua Dirksen as Dudu Barrichello moves across to try and find a tow himself. They release Michael Belov now down towards the Parabolica, and it looks like provisionally we will see Michael Belov go to the top. Remember, it's a 1:49.7 the time to beat. They should beat it in this session as Brasky goes top, but only briefly, because Michael Belov surely is about to go top. There he is, 1:49.2, and we have already beaten the time from Group B. So this will be the inside row of the grid, and this is to decide what row they start on. It's Belov so far from Portaletto. David Montoya is 4th, Masson 5th, Leon 6th, and it's Wisnicki, Hamda Al-Kabaisi 8th. Then behind that, Rivets and Dirksen as Paul Aron goes to the top. 1:48.8 for Paul Aron, that much needed. A driver like Gabriele Mini, who didn't score any points yesterday, so he desperate to get in the points today. Like Gabriele Mini, he had to take a trip into the pit lane yesterday for front wing damage, so we could have 2 drivers on the front row that both desperate needed points that didn't finish in the points yesterday as they make their way round Curva Grande and down towards the Rogier chicane. Going quicker on this lap though, Belov has found a bit of time. Sebastian Montoya, quickest of anyone though, through the first sector. So Montoya, there he goes, that's his teammate rather, Noel Leon in the Red Bull car behind Dudu Barrichello as they come up towards Ascari. Leading them is Michael Belov, who's currently 3rd, but he's purple through the first 2 sectors. This is going to be very, very hard to keep up with now as they go down to Parabolica. So we've got Belov, Dirksen, Barrichello, Leon in your picture in that order, and then David. Here they come down to Parabolica, quickest on track so far. We've got Fornaroli is up, Portaletto up, Belov is up, Aron is up, Beganovic is up as well. As they come round the final corner now, to the left of your screen, those times are about to change dramatically. Watch the positions fly all over the place. Here we go, Belov goes up to second, Dirksen goes fourth, then we have Barrichello eighth, Dirksen up to fifth place, Belov third, Portaletto goes to second, David to fourth place. Here comes Aron into the final corner, getting all out of shape. No one able to beat his time though. As we come up to the line, Fornaroli is absolutely flying out there as well. Wait for him to cross the line. But Paul Aron goes quickest once more, but Beganovic beats him straight away. 148.3, and Fornaroli goes to sixth place. Dino Beganovic on for a double pole position. Brilliant stuff. Here's Paul Aron. Gets a little bit out of shape. There you can see braking on the racing line. That's why they're not doing it. Damp patches on the racing line still. And Paul Aron, that might have just cost him that 2/10. That is the gap between himself and Dino Beganovic. So Beganovic leads from Aron, Portaletto, Belov, David, Fornaroli, Masson, Dirksen, Leon and Barrichello. Behind that, Montoya, Deligoanti, Belinsky, Tangavellu, Revets, Wisnicki, Alkebeski, Braski and Bula. That's your order so far, but improving on this lap. Michael Belov is purple through the first two sectors. We also, Montoya, third quickest of anyone, so looks like he's going to improve. Adrian David is set to improve as well, but Paul Aron has just gone 2/10 quicker than anyone through that first sector. Paul Aron absolutely flying, but Michael Belov on to go quickest for the time being. Round the final corner he comes now. Michael Belov looks like he's nailed it. Up to the start-finish line. Is Michael Belov going to go to the top of the times? Here he comes up to the line now. He goes second, just about misses out. Dirksen goes to fifth, Barrichello to seventh, Leon to ninth, Montoya up to fourth place. Behind that then, we have Adrian David. I think that didn't quite improve, but we're waiting for Paul Aron. He looks like he's going to improve. Alkebasi 16th. Wisnicki goes to 12th. Aron goes quickest, 148.1, but Beganovic beats him once again, 148.078. So the two teammates going head to head out front here. 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Belinsky's gone to 9th. Deligoanti's gone to 13th. Group A proving to be just as entertaining as Group B. This is going to be the inside row of the grid, as the times are quicker than what we saw in Group B, with the track getting quicker all the time. So far, Beganovic will start on pole, Aron will start third on the grid, but there is still time to be had here as Beganovic makes his way up to the back of Owen Tangavellu. Noel Leon has just gone very well through the first sector there, third quickest of all the drivers out there, so good first sector time for Noel Leon. As they make their way now through the second splits, everyone is improving out there. Montoya, Portaletto, Dirksen, David, Fornaroli, Leon, all improving as they come through up to the final corner. Here they are, so Dirksen is in the 10, in the red Arden car. Then it's Barrichello in the 91. Leon's got a great toe in the Red Bull car. Behind that, Montoya's got a good toe as well as he comes up to the final corner. We could see a good improvement here from Sebastian Montoya up to the line. Are we going to see more changes now? They're getting ready to start their final laps of this session, and Dirksen's gone up to fourth place. That puts him in the top 10 overall. David's gone to fourth. Montoya goes up to third place. Portaletto has gone to sixth place. Now, are we going to see this head-to-head once more between Paul Aron and Dino Beganovic? Aron's got a toe from Levente Revets up to the line, and Aron goes quickest, 147.7, and Beganovic can't beat it, 147.8, so Aron currently quickest. But we still have one more lap to go as Aron makes a move on Revets going into the first corner. Right, so for the time being, it is Aron from Beganovic, from Montoya, from David, from Belov, from Portaletto, Dirksen, Belinsky and Deligoanti. Michael Belov, though, has just gone 2.5 tenths quicker than anyone through the first sector. So Michael Belov could be on to steal pole position here from Paul Aron, but Paul Aron has just gone over 2 tenths quicker than his own time. This is going to be an absolutely fascinating end to the session. Someone running a little bit wide out of the second Lesmo. Michael Belov approaching some traffic here, but that could give him a good tow. There you can see all the traffic. This could really, really hurt Michael Belov coming down to Ascari chicane. He's behind Noel Leon. Will this give him a good tow, or will this affect his time as he comes out of Ascari chicane? And you can see he's lost over 2/10 being in behind Noel Leon there. He comes up to Parabolica now, and red flags are out. Red flags are out, unfortunately. So Paul Aron is going to be on pole position for the third time in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Not too sure who it was who we've had off, unfortunately. Now that's Esteban Masson in the 9, sadly, who has stopped coming out of the final corner. That doesn't look like he's had a spin. That looks more a mechanical issue, unfortunately. And Esteban Masson, sadly, will go no further in this session, nor will anyone else. The red flags are out, and that is going to be the end of the session. A shame for the likes of Beganovic and Belov, as they were on to potentially improve. Aron, though, was on to improve even more. And there you can see Masson just coming to a halt, so hopefully whatever problems they had there can be fixed for the race later. But for the third time since racing in Formula Regional, Paul Aron will start from pole position. He took a double pole at Mugello last year, and he's going to be on pole for the second race of the season. A double pole position for Prema, who are unbeaten so far this weekend. They took pole and a win with Beganovic yesterday. They take pole with Paul Aron yesterday. A fascinating front row of the grid. Paul Aron and Gabriele Mini will be on row 1, 2 drivers who scored no points yesterday. Here's the inside row of the grid. It will be Paul Aron on row 1, Beganovic row 2, Montoya row 3. Brilliant qualifying from Sebastian Montoya, the rookie winner. David, Belov, Portaletto, Dirksen, Belinsky, Deligoanti, Leon round out the top 10. Good to see a rookie starting from 5th place. Then Barrichello, Fornaroli, Masson, Wisnicki, Tangavello, Alcabasi, Rivets, Braschi and Bula. Masson will have his best time deleted due to the fact that he brought out the red flag. And Deligoanti will take a 3-place grid drop after the incident he had with Delano Van Gogh yesterday. We'll also have a 2-place grid drop for Lawrence Van Hopen. But, as I said, Paul Aron and Gabriele Mini on the front row. Trips to the pit lane for them yesterday. They'll both be desperate to take the win today. It's going to be a fascinating head-to-head battle, and you can join us to watch it live from 2:05 local time here in Monza. For now, though, it's goodbye.